And my mic has been muted. Hello. Just wanted to make sure we are good to go here. Sorry about that, guys. Mic was muted. A quick technical difficulty getting that out of the way early. So, good evening, everyone. How is everyone doing? Sorry for the mute there. It is your Shoutcaster, DeadlyDrew, and welcome to this presentation by the Post University Esports channel. We have some collegiate Marvel rivals for you tonight as the Post University Eagles go up against Lloyd College. It is going to be an excellent matchup tonight. Looking forward to it. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Wednesday evening here. Sorry for the technical difficulty there, as I thought I had my mic on. Now it is on. Okay, so here we go. Just about to get into the lineup here for tonight's best of 5 starting matchup, ECAC Week 4, just to remind you. And we are going to get right into some information about the game here, as I was just saying to a muted mic. Post University is 1-2 in this ECAC season, and Lloyd College is 1-1 on this season. So a little background information there for you on their records. Post University is coming off a 3-0 hot sweep against Texas A&M last week in the ECAC, but in the NECC they did lose to Goldie Beacom on Friday. So Post University looking to get back in the win column and keep that win column strong here and solid for the ECAC. So we're about to go into the roster here tonight, folks, and get you the starting lineup before we get into this best of 5 ECAC Week 4 matchup. So here we go. Tonight's starting roster for your Post University Eagles. Player number 1, Frosty.wrld. Player number 2, Requiem. Player number 3, Rekonic. Player number 4, mewca. Player number 5, THELimboSteppr. And player number 6, Burn 2. And now for the Lloyd College roster here, we are going to start with player number 1, Jenko. Player number 2, Incredible Bulk. Player number 3, Inferno Dev. Player number 4, Ailsk Q1. Player number 5, Marine 2420. Player number 6, Sarah Beth. Player number 7, Lo-Fi W. Player number 8, Risando. All right, very interesting that Lloyd College has a very deep lineup. Post University is going to have their work cut out for them this evening, as we will see what compositions are brought early and what maps are chosen, especially the hero pick-and bans as usual. So we will be back here with this best of 5 ECAC Week 4 Collegiate Marvel Rivals matchup here between the Post University Eagles and Lloyd College. This is your Shoutcaster, DeadlyDrew. We'll be back soon with the start of Map 1. Hello and welcome back, everyone. It is time for map number 1 of this ECAC Week 4 matchup between the Post-University Eagles and Alice Lloyd College. Both teams looking to make a statement tonight and add another W to the column. We will see who starts off strong here, and I believe our first map, it just popped up on the screen, is going to be Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda. Burn into T'Challa. So, here we go. It is going to be Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda for our first map, and we will be here for our character. We will be in the lobby here in a second with our character picks and bans, or picks and protects, I should say. Protects and bans. It is going to be a very interesting match here. I'm looking forward to it. Hope you guys are as well on this Wednesday evening. Little collegiate Marvel rivals. Let's get psyched here. Get hyped. It is going to be a good matchup. Just getting ready to jump in. We see the ready check in chat. Just waiting for Post University here to reply. They're just asking me if I am ready. Oh, and we jumped to the wrong screen. Don't want to jump to that yet. Just want to make sure that we are ready in chat. All right, here we go. ECAC Week 4 Collegiate Marvel Rivals matchup here between the Post-University Eagles and the Alice Lloyd College esports team here. About to get started on Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda. Your Shoutcaster here, DeadlyDrew. We will be back in about a minute or two here for map number 1 of this best of 5 matchup. Alrighty, here we go. ECAC Week 4 Marvel Rivals Collegiate matchup between the Post-University Eagles and Alice Lloyd College is about to begin. Here we go. Just need to swap the scoreboard here real quick. And there we go. That matches up correctly. And it is time on Burn into T'Challa domination here to get our protects and bans underway for map number 1, best of 5 matchup here. And we'll see what Post University goes for first on their ban, and it's going to be Venom. Alice Lloyd opting to ban the Moon Knight and protect the Gambit. Let's see what Post University protects here. Welcome in if you're just joining us. Just in time. ECAC Week 4 matchup between the Post-University Eagles and Alice Lloyd Collegiate Marvel Rivals. Map 1 of this best of 5 is about to begin here, just on the protect and ban phase. Your Shoutcaster DeadlyDrew here. Very excited to get into this one. We have Post-University protecting the Magic and banning the Thor. It'll be interesting to see what both of these teams can pull out of their bag of tricks as far as compositions on Burn into T'Challa. And what kind of composition they are trying to go for. Off the bat, at least, but things always change here in these types of hero shooters. Arena shooters as well. And Marvel Rivals is a big-time game of counter picks. So we have Alice Lloyd going for the Invisible Woman ban and protecting the Hulk. Post-University Eagles want to hang on to Doctor Strange, and it is bye-bye to Bucky. And the last ban falls to Alice Lloyd. And we will see what they knock off the board here. And then it is game time, folks. Post-University hovering a few picks here. So is Alice Lloyd. And here we go. Alice Lloyd getting rid of the Black Panther. No dive comp wanted. And we will see what both of these teams go for as their starting composition and character picks here. Post University looks like they are going to come out on the Doctor Strange and the Emma Frost. A little bit of Gambit. Like to see Daredevil as well. And, of course, the Cloak and Dagger and LimboSteppr on the Magic. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. ECAC Week 4 matchup. Map 1 between the Post University Eagles and Alice Lloyd College about to get underway. Welcome on in. And I think I might have just hit that by accident. That was my fault.
Get ready.
All right, here we go. Hope I didn't pause the game or anything like that for anyone. Alrighty, let's see what Alice Lloyd is bringing out here. We have the Hela, we have the Loki, and as well as the Cloak and Dagger. They wanted to protect that Hulk, and they're bringing it out. Hulk Groot, very beefy tank combo here. Or should I say Vanguard. We have the Mirror Gambit, as well as the Mirror Cloak and Dagger. But other than that, that's where it ends. And both of these teams looking unique coming out the gate here. We'll see which DPS combo can pay off for this team, for each team here. And we are going to start with the LimboSteppr on the Magic, getting aggressive here, trying to dive in to Alice Lloyd, but getting picked off the bat. But so is Lo-Fi, Vanguard player for Alice Lloyd. Losing a Vanguard off the bat there, not the greatest. Post loses a DPS. Alice Lloyd loses a Vanguard. As the poke begins here, both teams. Post University establishes the first cap onto point. They had a better jump for positioning off the get-go from spawn. And they are rewarded with that first capture. Burn 2 taking a little bit of damage, going back down, hopping back up. Healing his Cloak and Dagger. Good support there. Rekonic taking a lot of damage from the Hulk is Strange right now. Using the shield effectively. Falling low. Post University getting low on point. Trying to hold and stall as long as they can, but that's going to do it as Alice Lloyd now in control and has ults in the bank to try to defend and get back to 48%, where the Eagles have laid their egg in the nest. For now, they're going to try to get back into it here. Just waiting for everyone to group up. Good team play by the Eagles, making sure no one pushes in by themselves. Eagles starting to get close to a few ults of their own, and starting off is the Gambit ult coming out, answered by Alice Lloyd's Gambit ult as well. Both teams popping the Gambit ult early here. Hela ult being popped as well. Being copied there. Oh, couldn't get the copy off as the Loki there. Out comes the Hulk ult now for Alice Lloyd, getting aggressive, trying to hang on to this point. Doing a nice job of ranging Post University, keeping them at bay. But unfortunately, Alice Lloyd steps off the point there. The Hulk taking a lot of damage and had to step off point, and Post University getting the cap right back here, 56%. Almost to the first cap on point number 1 here. Burn in T'Challa. Domination. And we have Requiem X2 here for Post University. As the Daredevil getting ready to drop on in. And probably pop ult here as the Cloak and Dagger ult comes out from Alice Lloyd here to lead the team on in. Requiem looking for a pick here. Gru ult as well coming out here. And Post University getting wiped up as unfortunately Requiem might have missed his window there. Not much you can do though to pop ult into a Cloak and Dagger, so smart play to not use it there by Requiem. Unfortunately though, the window time was wasted. So Post University now going to have to regroup with a few ults still in the bank for Post University. They're looking good here for this next push. Still have the Loki ult in hand here. Always useful to capture. We'll see who he goes for, or copy, excuse me. And here he goes for the Gambit ult here. Gambit ult coming out here, and ult goes the Daredevil ult as well for Requiem 2. Rekonic finding 2. mewca finding another. Post University cleaning up here. 91% for Alice Lloyd as Post University caps. Nice job by the Eagles. And mewca going to use the ult there just to push back any Alice Lloyd players from trying to get the cap. 96% is anyone from Alice Lloyd going to be able to touch. Out comes the Strange Portal right on time. Alice Lloyd now stalling out the point. Here comes ults from Alice Lloyd. Good Hulk shield there, and Alice Lloyd falling one by one to Post University as they step through the portal. Nice job by the Eagles to stay positionally square there and make sure not everyone committed to diving on into DPS everyone coming out of the Strange Portal, and that will be the Eagles' first point on Burnin' T'Challa. Nice job by the Eagles there. It was a close first map point, but the Eagles playing a little bit more solid positionally there, as even though they did burn a little bit of time in the beginning, you saw that all the Eagles players making sure that everyone was grouped up together and ready to engage as a team there. And when the Strange Portal came in at the last dying seconds there, before it went to overtime, the Eagles did not all jump onto the portal and just go for farming kills there. They played positionally solid and waited and just DPS'd and poked out Alice Lloyd University as they came out of that portal. So nice job to the Eagles for securing this first point, but still a lot of work to do here. Let's see, we have the Magneto now for Alice Lloyd and the Punisher, Mr. Fantastic. So a pretty deep lineup swap here for Alice Lloyd. Let's see if it pays off for them. We'll stay on board Sticker Ruin here on the Mr. Fantastic. Getting aggressive early is Alice Lloyd here. On board Lo-Fi Mr. 18 for Alice Lloyd on the Magneto here. Putting out some big poke damage, but not able to finish the Daredevil of Post University. But they will establish good offensive positioning on this first capture. And there is the first 2 picks coming out from the Vanguard players of Alice Lloyd. And make that 2 picks as well from Jenko on the Punisher. Already 72% to ultimate here. Finishing off a Loki clone. And Alice Lloyd in good position here already. Post University has a few ults in their pocket for this offensive push, trying to take point back. But they're going to have to deal with this Punisher damage, and Punisher hurts, especially an accurate one. Out comes the clobbering time from the Thing, but down goes mewca instantly, and here comes the Judge, Jury, Executioner. A lot of damage coming Post University's way. And that will be a cleanup for Alice Lloyd there, as they are 35% to the second point capture. Post University now almost at full ults, so they will have what they need to get into this point, but I think a rotate is necessary here. Especially trying to walk in to a Punisher here. You might want to vie to go for the top rotate. But Post is just going to walk straight in with the Gambit ult here. Nice job by Post University, just walking right past the Punisher. Cloak and Dagger ult comes out as well. Lo-Fi with the Magneto ult, not able to find any. Rekonic comes out with the Strange ult. It's ults everywhere, on point. What a party. As Requiem now with the Daredevil ult, pushing aggressively but not able to find the kill. Jenko cleaning up on the Punisher, as well as Sticker Ruin here. As these swaps for Alice Lloyd University have been paying off very well for them. Seems like the DPS swaps were needed, as now they are controlling this point, and it is almost 90% here, and we are at 90% to 0. Post University probably going to go for the Strange Portal if I had to guess. Here it comes, 95%. In goes the Loki ult, copying Gambit here. Groot ult comes in, gets a lot of Post University through that Strange Portal. But Post University's healers doing a good job to keep them up. Frosty goes down finally on the Cloak and Dagger. Rekonic falls. Post University needs to hang on to this point, or get the capture on this point, as it is in overtime for Alice Lloyd right now. But Post University falling 1 by 1 here. And it is looking like Alice Lloyd is going to come back on Burnin' T'Challa here and make it a 1-1 game. Nice job there by Alice Lloyd. Good swaps, as well as those swaps really paid off there. The Mr. Fantastic getting up and aggressive with the Groot, helping the group Groot out, and just with his extra shields when needed. Little bit of like a third Vanguard and DPS player, Mr. Fantastic. And then just the pure damage and poke damage of Punisher. Getting in close can also help his teammates out with the shotgun. A lot of damage, a lot of close quarters damage, and with that turret. Punisher just an extremely versatile kit for just dealing damage. And Post University now going to go on the Magneto for the counter. Magneto, one of the biggest counters to Punisher here. Good swap there, and also a very nice looking Magneto skin. I like the colors of the skin. We also have Requiem now on the Hela, rocking a very cool skin as well. So we are 1-1 on Burnin' T'Challa here. Let's see if Post University can start out how they did on map 1 and get the, or on point 1 and get the dub. Or will it be Alice Lloyd with the extremely well-played Punisher on map 2, or on point 2. I keep saying map 2. And nice job by Janko there to find burn 2. Finding 2 is Janko on the Punisher. 3 is Janko. Janko for Alice Lloyd popping off on the Punisher. Followed up. That's 4 for Janko on the Punisher. He is not missing a shot right now, and making Post University pay for their lack of positioning there, trying to all just fall in on point 1 by 1. Janko putting up a lot of damage right now, 70% to ult. Gambit ult coming in for Post University. Here come the reinforcements. LimboSteppr trying to target the Punisher. He knows as Magneto, he's got to lock him down. Cloak and Dagger coming out from Alice Lloyd. Squirrel Girl ult coming in from mewca. Post University here. Out comes the Magneto ult. Lo-Fi finding Frosty.wrld coming out of the Cloak and Dagger ult. That is a big counter there and a big pick, as Post University's healers just cannot seem to stay alive at the moment. Alice Lloyd's DPS are on the hunt. But unfortunately, Alice Lloyd's Cloak and Dagger, I think, might have fallen off the map there. So Post University may have a chance to get back onto point here, as Alice Lloyd is down a healer. Gambit ult coming out right now. Out goes the Doctor Strange here, taking a lot of damage. Good job by Post University support keeping their Vanguards alive, but this Punisher is just poking away. And Rekonic's going to try to take on the Punisher one-on-one, and Rekonic finds the headshot there onto the Punisher. Nice job, Post University able to establish control of this point finally, as Alice Lloyd has 82% in their pocket. Post University, it's going to come down to a one-team fight game. They are going to have to full hold this point if they want to take Burnin' T'Challa domination here. Good positioning by Post University as the Squirrel Girl ult comes in. mewca finds 1 with the Squirrel Girl ult. Finds 2. Nice job by mewca. Very well positioned Squirrel Girl ult there. 2 big picks as she kind of bounces the squirrels off the wall there, as Alice Lloyd is in tight positioning, trying to all regroup. Nice job by the Eagles DPS player to interrupt that DPS with an ult of their own. But out comes the Groot ult, and out comes the Executioner now. And oh no, Post University with getting full team wiped there. 82% with the Strange ult, or with the Strange portal. They should be able to touch one more time. So Post University now, it comes down to one team fight. They do have ults in the bank here to use on this team fight. Here comes the Strange portal. We'll stay on LimboSteppr here, as that Magneto ult's going to come out soon. He's trying to block against the mirrored Magneto ult that's out on point right now. Squirrel Girl ult comes out again from mewca. Here comes the Magneto ult. Does he find value? Does damage, but no value on a single pick there. Post University taking a lot of damage. A lot of players critical right now. Everyone's critical as the Mr. Fantastic ult for Alice. Lloyd University, or College, excuse me, finds 2. And now it is Alice Lloyd cleaning up this point in overtime. And it will be Alice Lloyd taking this first map on Capture Burn T'Challa. Nice job. They will take the map 2-1. And the score is 1-0 in this best of 5 ECAC Week 4 matchup. As the Eagles manage to get the first point on Burn T'Challa, but then fall twice in a row to Alice Lloyd. It is Jenko with the standout performance for Alice Lloyd on the Punisher, backed up by the 32 elims of Sticker Ruin. Alice Lloyd's DPS coming to play tonight as they have a 1-0 best of 5 matchup lead. We will send it right back to the caster screen for a second here, as those are your stats. Give you another minute here on them. All right, an excellent job there by Alice Lloyd to make a comeback there as Post University takes the first point on map 1 Burn T'Challa, but quickly answered by an excellent composition swap there from Alice Lloyd. Going to the Punisher and the Mr. Fantastic paid off big dividends for them. We'll see if Post University can counter on map number 2 of this best of 5 ECAC Week 4 Collegiate Marvel Rivals matchup. I'm your Shoutcaster, DeadlyDrew. We will be back with map number 2 very soon. All right, and welcome back, everyone, to this ECAC Week 4 matchup between the Post University Eagles and Alice Lloyd College. Alice Lloyd off to a hot start and a very nice comeback on the first map, on map 1. And now we are on to map 2, Hall of Djala Convergence. And we will see here what both teams come out with as far as bans and protects. Let's see. We're going to have Post University starting out with the Venom ban again. Alice Lloyd with the Moon Knight ban. And let's see what's coming up next here. And we have the protect for the Punisher. You can see that coming, as Jenko on the Punisher was absolutely devastating against Post University and honestly spoiled their plans on map 1. Post University protecting the Magic as well. And banning the Magneto. Not seeing much counterplay on the bans so far here. I thought Post University would for sure come out with the Punisher ban on their first pick. That really is interesting to me as why they did not pick the Punisher. Maybe they know something that I don't know as far as Venom play. One of Alice Lloyd's Vanguard players could be an extremely good Venom, and they are going to protect the Hulk again and ban the Invisible Woman for Alice Lloyd. And Post University protecting the Doctor Strange as well as protecting the Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is a very interesting protect to me. I feel like there would be a lot better choices for protects. But then again, these teams probably know something that I don't. So the Bucky ban will be another ban for Post University, and the last ban will be the Daredevil for Alice Lloyd. Here we go. Hall of Djala Convergence. Alice Lloyd up 1-0 in this best of 5 ECAC Week 4 matchup. Map number 2 about to start here. Players locking in their characters, and we will see how this map will play out. Post University going to have to be very careful of that Punisher, and it'll be interesting to see what they do to counter Jenko, as he has been playing extremely solid positioning as the Punisher and has been doing a ton of poke damage to the Eagles each time they have been trying to get onto the capture point or just regroup in general. All right, here we go on to the character selections here. Post University, Requiem X2 with the Black Panther pick. Very, very interesting to see. We'll see how this pays off. A little bit of dive here, not too much of a aggressive dive composition though. Other than the 2 DPS players, the tank, the Vanguard's a lot more slower here. So it'll be interesting to see how they stay together. Or will the DPS players just go and roam about and look for picks on their own? Going in right away, mewca, nice pick off the bat there. Onto the Punisher. Post University singling out that Punisher early, as they know he was the main cause of their loss for the last map there. Definitely a thorn in their side. Now it is Rekonic on point, taking a lot of damage. Doing some poke damage back there. Nice Hulk shield by Lo-Fi, MR18. Poke damage going back and forth between both teams. Not too much being done as far as damage as both. All the healers keeping their teams up. And there is our first pick there from Inferno Dev on the Groot. Playing good positioning there. Followed up by a pick from Jenko now. Swapping off the Punisher to a Hela. A little bit more precise range damage rather than the spray and pray of the Punisher. So Post University now going to vie to rotate around and continue this poke fight between Alice Lloyd and the Eagles here. Both teams getting very aggressive, and it is the Hulk of Alice Lloyd finding another pick here. I have Agamotto coming out for Post University, though not much value found, being reinforced by Frosty.wrld with the Cloak and Dagger ult there onto point, trying to lead their team onto point. Hulk ult coming out right now for Alice Lloyd here. Has to avoid the Cloak and Dagger healing on the ground. LimboSteppr now popping an ult of his own here. Rosando finding one on the Mr. Fantastic. A lot of poke damage going back and forth here. Teams trading a lot of damage. Not many picks, though, coming out. A few ults as well committed to that fight. But not a lot of critical damage being done right now, as both teams just kind of doing this dance back and forth, looking for an opening. Ultimates can definitely help you find those openings, though, as mewca looking to find a... Ooh, good exile, though. Has to get back to her healers. And out comes the Death Child. Post University trying desperately now to get onto point and get some value from their ultimates. Oh, but an excellent Groot wall there from Inferno, trapping the magic. Janko with the Hela ult. Nice job, though, not finding a lot of value as Rekonic goes to block on the Doctor Strange and ends up paying the price for it. And another excellent defense from Alice Lloyd here as Post University committing ults and still not able to find the picks they need or the value to even get a tick right now. Being held, nice shot by Janko again. His accuracy has been a story of this best of 5 ECAC Week 4 matchup so far. Down to 20 seconds here. It's going to come down to one team fight for this point as Post University is going to vie to use that Doctor Strange portal. Not a lot of ults in hand, though. They're going to have to find the picks. Gambit ult comes out. Frosty.wrld enforcing the team here with a Cloak and Dagger ult right onto point. It'll buy them time, but they're going to still have to find the picks they need. Janko finding another. Down goes mewca on the... oh, he went for a swap, actually, to a DPS swap. It might have been a little too late there. Requiem now is the only one left on point. And a good pick there by Requiem, but is it going to be enough with a Groot and a Hela staring him down in the face? And no, it is going to be a full hold by Alice Lloyd. Excellent job on the defense there, eating up Post University's ults. But no value was found from them as Post University gets held. And now it is up to the Eagles to hold out their nest and defend the exact same way as Alice Lloyd did, or else it will be Alice Lloyd's Map 2 victory. The Requiem, or Black Panther pick was very interesting from Requiem X2, as unfortunately the Vanguards couldn't find much value playing with him, as Doctor Strange was kind of staying with the team, as Black Panther usually goes for the backline dive. And I didn't see a lot of coordination on those dives either between the Magic player and the Black Panther player from Post University. And with those kinds of characters, those DPS dive characters, you really have to be communicating with your team, making sure that you're finishing off the targets that need to be focused, as far as, because those characters can only do a certain amount of damage, a certain amount of burst damage at a time. So you want to make sure that if they're your teammates, you're communicating with them to help finish off weak opponents. So Post University now going to go for the Rogue pick to try to lock down this point. Burn 2 as well, going for an interesting DPS pick here. We have some interesting DPS picks from Post University. I hope it works out for them here, but they're going to have to worry about Janko. He has been the very accurate one so far. It seems like Alice Lloyd as well, just playing very slow, just waiting for the picks to come to them, waiting for Post University to expose themselves positionally. It's Rosando getting picked on the Mr. Fantastic, but the other DPS player for Alice Lloyd is just cleaning up house. That's a triple quad kill for Janko on the Hela right now. And the only one left on point is Requiem X2, and they will only need one cap bar to do it, and that will do it as Alice Lloyd takes a clean 1-0, 1 cap, full defense hold here. Nice job to Alice Lloyd. It is now a map score of 2-0 in favor of Alice Lloyd. Very dominant there. And it will be the MVP for Lo-Fi, Mr. 18 on the Hulk. You can see why they go for the Hulk Protect here. And even though they were challenged on the Punisher early, Janko vies to switch to the Hela and finds a ton of value there from his accuracy as well. There are your stats for map 2. Alice Lloyd takes a 2-0 map lead. So if I'm post-university right now, I am definitely thinking about targeting and banning some of Alice Lloyd's top DPS. Maybe the Punisher, maybe the Hela, or maybe the Mr. Fantastic in general. But post-university has to do something quick, as they are now on match point or Alice Lloyd is now on match point. Post-university going to have to find a comeback here. If there is a will, there is a way for these Eagles, so it'll be very interesting to see how they can come back into this game, or if they can come back into this game and try to challenge some of the strong, dominant DPS play that Alice Lloyd has displayed so far. We'll be back with map number 3 in this ECAC Week 4 Best of 5 map pool. And we will be going to, I'm actually, did they say which map yet? No, they did not say which map yet. So we will be back with map 3, and I'll get that information for you here very soon. Map 3 coming up. Be right back. And welcome back. Map 3 of this ECAC Week 4 Best of 5 here. And it is Alice Lloyd on match point as the Eagles need to answer on Spider Island's Convoy. This was the Eagles map choice. And here we go with the protects and bans post. Got some insider information here. So it apparently one of the players on Alice Lloyd is a very skilled Venom player. So that makes sense as why the Eagles have gone for the Venom ban every single time as their first ban. But at this point, I think I'd vie to go to the Venom rather than go with the Punisher, rather than face a very accurate Punisher. Or hell, I guess you can't ban them all. But I think the DPS has been the issue for the Eagles, trying to get past the poke damage and the accuracy of Jenko. He has been the thorn in their side right now. I don't think it has been the Vanguard play too much. So we'll see what Post University protects here. They go for the Invisible Woman, and they go for the Magneto ban. Alice Lloyd is also banning the Moon Knight, protecting the Groot. And let's see what they ban up next. They go for the Strange ban. Post University usually protects Strange, so they are trying to make this harder as far as range DPS and poking. You ban Strange when you want to use poke. So look for a Hela here. Look for a Punisher again for Alice Lloyd. And Post University protecting the Daredevil. Very interesting protects and bans from Post University. I'm not sure if these are aiding them or hurting them, as they have kind of gone for the same bans every single map, and on Marvel Rivals, things change so quickly in a matchup, and also just depending on many things, what the team likes to play, what your opponents like to play composition-wise, what map you're on. Post University going for the bread and butter style of just banning what they like, and we'll see if it pays off for the Eagles here, as it is do or die now. Alice Lloyd is now on match point here. Spider Island's Convoy. Eagles map pick. ECAC Week 4 matchup. Map number 3 is about to begin. And there it is. Jenko on the Hela. Burn 2 on the Squirrel Girl, and Requiem X2 on the Daredevil. Here we go. Spider Islands. It is now or never for the Eagles for Week 4 in the ECAC.
30 seconds before you attack.
A very interesting composition indeed here. It will be... I hope the Eagles can find a way to counter this Hela, but man, Jenko has been the story so far of this matchup. So here we go. Burn 2 has found some real good value on the Squirrel Girl, though. Can't deny him that.
The battle starts in 5, 4.
Post University going to have to work together to get past this strong DPS play of Alice Lloyd. And let's see if they can do just that, as we are now underway. Post University on the offensive push first here on Spider Islands. And we'll stick on with Burn 2 as he tries to find some poke DPS, breaking those Groot walls as well. Doing a good job staying focused, trying to get a lock on at least one target to rain some damage on. mewca trying to defend the backline as the Emma Frost full charge as well. Big damage coming out from mewca. And out goes the Squirrel Girl all early. Requiem X2 is the first to fall there. Jenko getting very aggressive with the Punisher. Not afraid to just step up with the shotgun right now. Trying to get out with the grapple. And gets picked on the way out. Post University finding some value on their picks. And now it is Alice Lloyd on the retreat. Nice job by the Eagles. Good push, and now the Eagles will be in control. And no strange swap, but it will be Lo-Fi for Alice Lloyd. That's going to be that first one to touch. Nice stun there, taking a ton of damage from the Squirrel Girl. Will he be able to touch? The Groot walls come out defensively for Alice Lloyd, but they just managed to touch with 1.1 meters left. And a nice grab there from Alice Lloyd as he pulls the Squirrel Girl out of the Invisible Woman ult. That was an absolutely nasty play from Lo-Fi Mr. 18 there. And they do manage to come back and wipe Post University up as they almost had the cap. Big stun there from Burn 2 on the Squirrel Girl, trying to deny Alice Lloyd the push in. But a nice play there from Lo-Fi MR18. Able to put Alice Lloyd in a very good defensive position now, as Post University is going to have to push all the way back up the stairs to the payload just to try to gain control of it again. And a good Squirrel Stampede here from Burn 2. Big picks. Rekonic finding one as well. Post University getting right back into it and getting aggressive. Can Burn 2 find more value? Yes, he can. Another double kill. A triple kill for Burn 2 on the Squirrel Girl. Excellent value. And this will be Post University's cap. They may have gotten stalled out a little bit, but right back on the point. And Post University gets their first checkpoint. With 3 minutes and 40 seconds, they're making good time here against Alice Lloyd's defense. So the Squirrel Girl finding some big value for Post University. Requiem X2 here looking to do the same on the Daredevil here. But getting picked out as Requiem 2 by the Hulk player of Alice Lloyd. Gambit ult coming out from Alice Lloyd as well. Groot ult, big Groot ult, finding a ton of players, but that's also a lot of damage grouped up at once. And Post University denies Inferno Dev, group player of Alice Lloyd, any value from that ult, as they had everyone grouped up, but no one to help finish the pile of players off there. And Post University will keep pushing. Out comes the Judge, Jury, Executioner, looking for value. Jenko finds one. Finding a triple kill off the Punisher ult. Rekonic answering back with a pick of his own on the Gambit. Post University still playing offensively here as they need to do so. But they need to reestablish capture first. mewca on the Emma Frost. Good ranging. Playing an excellent Vanguard tonight on the Emma Frost. Now Post University playing together as a team here. You can notice their team play has really changed this map 3 as both Vanguard players playing very much linked together. Out comes the Squirrel Girl ult, and Burn 2 has been finding big value out of these ults. And if Post University is going to continue this push, that will have to continue as well. Gambit ult coming out from Alice Lloyd College, excuse me. Done that once before, made that mistake. Inferno Dev there, still holding on to the Groot ult. But they are giving ground. He's putting as many Groot walls up as he possibly can. But Alice Lloyd not grouped up enough. Only 2 meters left. They're going to have to come out for the stall here. Playing behind his walls. A lot of ults in hand. Both Vanguards up. And out comes... Oh, nice cloak there from the Cloak and Dagger. AGN slays there. Way to keep her Vanguards alive. And picks going back and forth. Inferno Dev finding one, but no ults really committed other than the Groot ult that was just popped. mewca finding some big damage onto Alice Lloyd's Cloak and Dagger, but not able to get the pick there. As 60 seconds, Post University now going to vie for a regroup as we are coming down to one team fight territory, and they need to capture this last little 4.95 meters here to get this capture and checkpoint and more time on the board to continue their push. If not, this is where they will stay if Alice Lloyd can defend for another 38 seconds. Another big pick by Inferno Dev. Inferno Dev on the Groot, finding a few value picks here on Spider Islands for his team. Post University now getting backed up, getting a little bit split up between this Hulk and Groot. Doing some poke damage. They're going to have to push in at once. They might have been able to get 2 team fights out of it had they all rushed in, but they're waiting for the ults to lead them in, and here they come. Burn 2 leading them in with the squirrels. Mewca extremely low, critical, needs healing. All in pocket, and out it comes. After he gets a little bit of healing, Requiem X2 on the Daredevil, finding some picks on the back line there. Burn 2 just trying to lead up, follow up on his picks. Frosty.wrld finding 2 on the Invisible Woman. Nice job by Frosty. And Post University in overtime will get this checkpoint. And now they will have 1:29 to claim the last one here on Spider Islands. They would love to do so and get this map score a little less lopsided. Jenko on the Punisher, very dangerous spot as you're trying to walk in. You have to walk into a Punisher here. Gotta stay aware of him, and a nice job by Rekonic to be aware of where the Punisher was there and not let him get any big poke damage into his Vanguards or healers. Inferno Dev, though, the Vanguards of Alice Lloyd getting some big value there. As Burn 2, though, Burn 2 finding 2 on the Squirrel Girl, 3 on the Squirrel Girl. My goodness, Burn 2 is finally put down by Jenko in the back line, but Burn 2 finding so much value out of the Squirrel Girl. Every time he's up, he seems to find a pick or 2 or 3, and has his ult, seems, every 5 seconds. Post University down to 25 seconds. They've had a good push here. Played really strong together as a team. Can they finish the push? Out come the Cloak and Dagger ult from Alice Lloyd. And is there any ult to answer? Yes, Frosty.wrld has the Invisible Woman ult up. Couldn't see it. There was so much going on the point. I do apologize. Out comes the Groot ult, though, from Inferno Dev. And being cleaned up is Post University off a very nice Groot ult from Alice Lloyd. And it is just Gambit on the point for Post University. And the Daredevil now coming back, trying to stay on point. But Alice Lloyd focusing them both down, and that is where it's going to stay. Oh, unless the Squirrel Girl gets through to push, but no, didn't get through the wall. Got through the wall, but just didn't, I guess, get in the vicinity of the payload in time. So that is where Post University will stop. 2 caps and 62.91 meters with 0 on the clock. And now it will be up to Alice Lloyd to push to that exact same position the Eagles pushed. And if they can do that, they will be the winner and the winners of this ECAC Week 4 Collegiate Marvel Rivals matchup. But the Post University Eagles going to give everything they have here in order to try to extend this match. As let's see what both teams bring out as far as picks right now. Any big noticeable changes to these compositions? Ah, here we go. Requiem X2 has been playing a lot of Daredevil tonight and is, I mean, dare I say, has not really wanted to swap to any sort of range characters. But I think the range poke is really what Post University has needed, especially in these last 2 maps. So Requiem X2 now stepping up to the Hela to try to challenge Jenko for that DPS hit scan dominant role. mewca on the row getting ready to throw down. And Burn 2 really just absolutely phenomenal job on the Squirrel Girl. Finding a lot of value. Let's see what Burn 2 is at right now. 18 elims. The leader in elims for Post University and the ace. And Lo-Fi MR18 again on the Hulk. Has been also the standout Vanguard player for Alice Lloyd as well. Jenko and Lo-Fi MR18 have been the story for Alice Lloyd. And as far as Post University's side of things, it really has been Burn 2 and Frosty on the support, doing a great job of keeping his team alive. Jenko again getting very aggressive. Inferno Dev finding that first pick, but getting picked right back by Burn 2. Post University answering the call here and getting another pick by the Squirrel Girl. And all in hand for Squirrel Girl already. Nice Squirrel Stampede off the double jump there, finding big value. Burn 2 big damage as well. mewca finding 1 on the Rogue, but taking a lot of damage. Critical health, has to back up into the health pack. Nice being aware of the positioning there. Ooh, and a nice copy there as well, trying to copy the Groot wall, and she does. just going absolutely Jackie Chan mode and just beating up everyone in her path right now. LimboSteppr with a nice ult on the Emma Frost, trying to at least use it defensively rather than offensively here. Vies to go for the health pack as well. Post University being very aware of the map right now and where they need to be defensively. Another ult coming out from Burn 2 on the Squirrel Girl. Finds a little bit of value, but no one there to help clean up. As now out comes the Gru ult to trap Post University from getting back to the checkpoint. And Frosty now solo ulting to just try to buy Post University time. A very valiant play from Frosty. Committing ult there. You wonder if it would be better saved for the next team fight, but you can't blame Post University's healer, as just trying to buy as much time for his team as he can. Requiem X2 now swapping from the Hela to the Phoenix. Phoenix ult in hand. This may look good here. As Janko finds LimboSteppr, one of the vanguards for Post University falling. They're going to need to find a pick here and answer that back, and they will do just that as the Hulk player falls. Lo-Fi Mr. 18, MR18, either way, for Alice Lloyd. Out comes Judge, Jury, Executioner for Junko now, and it will be answered by a Phoenix ult, instantly protected there by the Luna ult. Nice support by Alice Lloyd to keep their Punisher fueled. And a nice little grapple play. Oh, what a flank there by Janko. By the grapple play, Post University still looking the other way as Janko finds 3. Hello, anybody home? My goodness. What a shotgun play there. Nice flank. That is some excellent Punisher tech by Janko. As Post University now has 3 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock to try to defend. Can they do it as the Gambit ult comes out and the pressure continues by Alice Lloyd now? They sensed a little blood in the water off that Punisher ult, and now they're just going full pedal to the metal. Lo-Fi MR18 finding 2, finding 3 off the Hulk smash. And the vehicle has reached a checkpoint, as you just heard. So now, Post University on the verge of being clean swept here, needs to hold this point for 4 minutes and 10 seconds, or else it is Alice Lloyd's victory. They only have the Gambit ult in hand, so they are going to have to find some standard picks in this fight here. And here comes the Gambit ult, answered by the Cloak and Dagger ult of Alice Lloyd here, as they will get very aggressive and try to just push Post University all the way back to their spawn. LimboSteppr uses the Emma Frost ult the second he has it to try to buy Post University some time, but he's taking damage through his ult as the damage just keeps on coming through. mewca now with the Rogue ult trying to hold on desperately. But oh no, out comes Janko again with the Punisher ult. And just raining a hailstorm of bullets onto the Eagles now. And that will do it. Absolutely incredible Punisher play by Janko. And Alice Lloyd has swept the Eagles 3-0 in this ECAC Week 4 matchup. Congratulations to Alice Lloyd. And once again, Lo-Fi MR18 with another MVP Vanguard performance there, and it really looked to be the just absolute domination of DPS play there from Janko. He was the player of the match, in my opinion there, as though the Vanguard player, Mr. 18, Lo-Fi Mr. 18, took the MVPs. Just 33 elims again from Janko, leading Alice Lloyd to a clean 3-0 sweep in this ECAC Week 4 matchup. And after that very dominating performance, that is all we have time for this evening, folks. Thank you very much for tuning into this ECAC Week 4 Collegiate Marvel Rivals matchup. The Eagles unfortunately fell very short tonight to Alice Lloyd's incredible DPS play. Janko was the player of the match, as he had more eliminations in this match than any other player. So definitely a very, very well-earned W by the Alice Lloyd College. And hopefully the Eagles can bounce back next week in their next NECC matchup, and then they'll be back for another ECAC matchup as well. So the season is still young, still early, and a lot of improvement to be practiced on. A lot of improvement, a lot of time for improvement, and a lot of things to be practiced and worked on as well. So, other than that, it has been an excellent matchup tonight, and I enjoyed watching it. Hope you did too. Thank you very much for tuning into the Post University Esports channel. Shout out to Post. Thank you very much for allowing me to cast these games. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy watching as well. Thank you, everyone. Until next time, this has been your Shoutcaster, DeadlyDrew here, saying so long and have an excellent rest of your evening. Till next time.